Hi, I hope all of you are doing well in your life and want to know about Russia-Ukraine war, which is now entering its 478 days. So here is a Wilson report about Russia-Ukraine war. Wilson Center is a big think tank located in New York, USA. So we are going to discuss what is this report says. Having it both way, Russian both support and oppose war. A Russian soldier, camouflage soldier or Russian military forces talking on mobile phone on city street. Realistic assessment of scenarios for the Russia-Ukraine war increasingly agree that neither side is likely to achieve a clearly military victory. Two variables will determine the overall balance of power. The balance of force on the battlefield and the ability of each side to mobilize resources and personnel to continue the war. Military, the West will try to counteract Russian advantage so that Putin cannot win. Each side mobilization success will remain key to its ability to wage a war of iteration. Putin resources seem superior on to Russia's much greater population and a relatively successful partial call of last fall. But on closer look, this is not entirely true. Russian much anticipated winter offensive did not materialize. Russian social media are overflowing with complaints from the mobilized and their relative. The gist of those appeal is simple. The mobilized refuse to go on an offensive, citing highly casualty rates and lacks of training. This brings us back to the issue of the Russian citizenship really attitude toward the war against Ukraine. Is it changing as the war rages on for over a year as the population become more involved and as the death of toll rises 1 year into the war? What if anything do we know about Russian public opinion? The picture three sources, three independent polling groups conducted surveys in Russia throughout the war first year. The data are surprisingly comparable and consistent. According to these polls, public support for the war rose in spring of 2022, declined in summer and fall, and rose slightly in 2023. The Levada Center Russian veteran independent poll setter found that responded who said yes. The direct question of whether they support the war fluctuated between 74 and 76% in April and August, declined to 71 and 74% in September and December, and climbed back to 75 and 77% in January and February. The Chronicle, a year-old polling startup, saw support rise in the first month of the war, 59 to 66, then declined to 51%, its lowest point at the end of September. Support, according to the Chronicle, returned to 59% by Feb 2023. Limitation or distorting mirror. In all survey, when answering a straightforward question, the majority of respondents support the war, yet these responses should be treated with caution. The question, can you freely talk about attitude toward the action of the country leadership, or are you afraid, feel uncomfortable? When posed to the respondent of the Levada Center poll showed that among those who approved of Putin, 42% answered yes, while 7% choose the answer afraid, feel uncomfortable. At the same time, among those who do not approve of Putin, 80% said yes, while every third respondent, 31%, choose the IM approved option. In the Russian field poll, among those who supposed to the military operation, 1 in 6%, 1 in 6, 60% said they were offered to participate in poll, while 43% of those who do not support the war were offered to be polled. The result, three majorities. Keeping this finding in mind, can move on to analyzing the quality of support for the war among those who agreed to talk to the pollster. In analyzing the chronicle data, we looked at respondent attitude toward the war on two levels. Answer to the direct question, do you support the Russian military operation in Ukraine demonstrated declarative support. In the current repressive condition, a negative answer to this question is almost a criminal act. With this in mind, Chronicle survey has responded to additional questions designed to clarify their attitude towards certain political decision. The nation of Oxford. Finally, one more study shares the lies on the structure of Russian public opinion regarding the war. A group of independent sociologists from the Public Sociology Laboratory conducted in-depth interview with responded over the course of this past year. A total of about 300 interviews were recorded. The last wave of interview at the end of 2022 focused on the position of those who are more likely to support the war. The study demonstrated that mass survey, including those referred Two above are unlikely to provide a definitive answer to the question of whether Russians support the war. In-depth interview reveals a large group of people who simultaneously support and do not support the war. Their attitude toward the war or a patchwork of condition and mixed bag of narrative from both sides. In other words, it would be accurate to speak of a significant group of Russians whose attitude toward the war contains more support than opposition to it, and of a significant group of Russians whose attitude toward the war contains more opposition than support of it. So there are multiple views about of the Russian people about the war. So here is the Wilson Center report. I hope you would enjoy, and please like, share, and subscribe my channel. So more of these type of videos come on this channel.